Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to unlock a secret that professional chefs use all the time to create absolutely incredible flavor. We're talking about cooking with wine, and I'm going to show you how it can completely transform your home cooking.
So you ever sit down at a great restaurant, take a bite, and just think to yourself, how do they do this? What is the secret to getting this incredible depth of flavor that I just can't seem to get in my own kitchen? Well, the answer is often way simpler than you'd think. And a huge piece of that puzzle is right here. Wine isn't just something you drink with dinner, it's one of the most powerful ingredients you can have in your dinner. I mean, it enhances flavor, it tenderizes meat, it builds sauces, it's a total workhorse in the kitchen. Okay, so let's really break that down. Why exactly should you be reaching for that bottle of wine when you're standing at the stove? Well, it all comes down to building a serious foundation of flavor. You see, wine doesn't just show up and add its own taste. It's almost like a spotlight, making the natural flavors of your food shine even brighter. Sure, it can add some nice fruity or earthy notes, but its real superpower? It's the acidity, which cuts right through richness and creates a perfectly balanced dish. Okay, let's get our hands dirty with our first practical technique. And trust me, this one is a total game changer. We're talking about the magic of deglazing. You know that moment when you've just seared a piece of chicken or a steak and you see all those little brown, crusty bits stuck to the bottom of the pan? Now your first instinct might be to think, ugh, what a mess to clean up. But here's the secret. That stuff has a name. It's called fond, and it is pure flavor gold. And this is where the magic happens. The second you pour a splash of wine into that hot pan, you'll hear that sizzle, and the liquid immediately starts to lift all of that concentrated flavor right off the bottom. You're not cleaning the pan, you're harvesting flavor to create the base for an amazing sauce. And honestly, the process could not be any easier. You just sear your food, take it out of the pan for a minute, pour in that splash of wine, and then use a wooden spoon to scrape up all those delicious bits from the bottom. Just let it bubble away for a minute and boom, you've just created a restaurant-quality sauce foundation in literally seconds. But it's not just about sauces. Wine can actually physically change the texture of your food. We're talking about turning tough cuts of meat into fall-apart tender masterpieces, or gently infusing delicate fish with the most beautiful aroma. So the science here is actually really simple, but it's so effective. The natural acidity in the wine works like a fantastic marinade. It gently breaks down all those tough connective tissues in the meat, and what does that do? Well, not only does it make the meat more tender, but it also helps it hold on to moisture while it cooks. That's the secret to a perfectly juicy pot roast every single time. And this just shows you how incredibly versatile wine is. I mean, look at this. On the left, you've got a deep, bold red wine that's slowly braising beef, creating this rich, hearty stew. And then on the right, you have a crisp white wine that's gently poaching a delicate piece of fish, infusing it with this light, aromatic flavor. It's the exact same principle, but with two completely different and equally delicious results. All right, now for the grand finale. This is what many people consider the absolute pinnacle of cooking with wine, creating those classic, velvety, smooth sauces. We're going to move beyond a simple pan sauce now and dive into the world of reductions and emulsions.
So, it all starts with something called a reduction. By gently simmering wine in a pan, maybe with some shallots or herbs, you're essentially boiling off the water and a lot of the alcohol. What gets left behind is this thicker, kind of syrupy liquid that has an incredibly concentrated flavor. That right there, that is your flavor bomb.
And a perfect example of this is the classic Beurre Blanc. Now, I know it sounds super fancy, but trust me, it's just a simple process. You take that white wine reduction we just talked about, and then you take it off the heat and start whisking in cold cubes of butter one by one. The butter melts and creates this stable, unbelievably creamy sauce. And just look at the result you get. It's this absolutely stunning, luxurious sauce. It's so silky and elegant, and it's the kind of thing that can take a simple piece of baked chicken or fish and turn it into something truly special. So, why does this work so well? Why does it taste so good? It all comes back to one word: balance. That sharp, bright acidity from the wine reduction perfectly cuts through the rich, fatty butter. It creates this sauce that's decadent and creamy, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's just a perfect harmony of flavor.
But wait, we're not done yet. The amazing things wine can do in the kitchen don't stop with savory dishes. Let's really quickly look at some of his more surprising roles.
For example, poaching pears in a spiced red wine is a classic dessert for a reason. The wine infuses the fruit with these warm, aromatic flavors and stains them this gorgeous, deep ruby color. You end up with something that is just as beautiful as it is delicious.
And really, the list just keeps going. It's used to make dessert syrups richer, it can balance out the fat in really creamy pasta dishes, and get this, historically, it was even a key ingredient for preserving food. And that's a tradition that's still alive today in some gourmet pickles. So, look, if you take just one thing away from our little chat today, let it be this. Wine is one of the most powerful and versatile tools you have for building, deepening, and balancing flavor. It really, truly is your kitchen secret weapon.
So there you have it. You now have the fundamental techniques that professional chefs rely on every single day. The only question left is, what are you going to transform first? Is it going to be that simple weeknight pan sauce, or maybe a slow-cooked, tender pot roast this weekend? The choice is yours. Now go have fun with it.